Everyone, it's Bonnie Hunter in the Quiltville studio in my little post office building right next to Quiltville Inn. And I have a really hard job, not really hard, just a boring job to do today. And I thought that I could pop in and work on this really boring thing and see what you are up to, and also test my new microphone. My son, Jason, encouraged me, I should say, forced me to get a new microphone. We're really trying to do what we can to make Quilt-Cam possible here at my little studio. The disclaimers are always this: I have slow speed internet. There is no high speed internet available where I am. I'm in the mountains of southwestern Virginia. It comes through the phone line. It's spotty. So I haven't been able to do any quality videos for quite a while. My upload speed is abysmal. And so upload speed is different than download speed. And if you find that I have a fuzzy picture or that my sound isn't quite right, then it's likely due to my upload speed. Sometimes Facebook is also really busy, and so that plays a little bit of havoc also, that things might not be as clear as we'd like them to be. I don't have a manager or a production person who is holding the camera, who is adjusting sounds and lighting on a switchboard. It's just me here with my laptop and now an external microphone. So I ask for your patience, and just know that I do this because I want to be in contact with people. I want to share what I'm working on, and it's just not always going to be the best. It is what it is. So if things are not really great where you are, please don't give me a thumbs down, because there's nothing that I can do with it. I'm trying. So give me a thumbs up for trying, and I'm really excited to have you here today. I need to do a couple of clicks here to get this going. Let's see. Alrighty, producer. So now it's asking me questions for a producer. Share to groups. Share. Okay. Choose groups. We got that. Set for next time. Got that. I don't know if it went to my group or not. This is really a pain. Okay. Close that. Close that. And now what I want to do is come over here to my feed so that I can see what we're doing here. So hang on just a second. It's all of this stuff behind the scenes. When you are your own producer, you don't get to see it. So let's see if we are going to go. Got to be on the right profile. I hope everybody's having a great day this lovely Wednesday. And I'm excited because I have another retreat group coming from Tennessee this afternoon, and this is my one chance to actually be able to pop in and say hello to everybody live. We had a group leave yesterday morning, another group arrives today. Okay, so I do see us. I see there are some comments. Is the sound good? Somebody tell me if the sound is working. That's wonderful. She says hello. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so that's going. So what am I working on today? Well, I cleared out my 1.5 inch strip drawer on a quilt top that I can't show you yet. But I'm also working on clearing out a big, huge tub of random florals. Some are half yard, some are fat quarter, some are just leftover pieces of border lengths. They're all florals, and this year is the year of florals going down. So I've got several. I'm doing a strippy back. It's going to be kind of scrappy, but each strip going down the back of the quilt is one fabric, and the columns are different lengths. So let me just grab a couple of those, and we'll talk some more while we're putting this thing together. Hang on just a second. So I made these strips yesterday, and some of this fabric, like this one, turn this around here, this one was only 36 inches wide, so it needed to go. I'm sure it was a gifted fabric from somewhere. I think I remember sheets like this when I was growing up. These were like the sheets that would be on your bed, and I've got some other random floral. Most everything has pink or purple in it. If I don't roll over my fabric. So I've already cut these to pretty much length, and I just want to sew them side by side by side, which is going to provide some interesting activity as I need to press in between seams. So I thought I could just sew pairs, and then when Quilt-Cam is over, I will do a lot of pressing. But do anybody recognize this? This has been in the stash for a long time. This purpley magenta is one of my favorite colors ever. It's the color of the red bud blossoms that are out where I live right now. And so I just gravitate towards that. And all I want to do is these random weird things. I figure I can eliminate 6 to 8 yards of fabric that needs to go live somewhere this way. So I'm just going to do these floral backs. And I will do the best that I can to scroll through the comments. I'll probably pull them up on the laptop I've got over here, and if I can get the comments to hold still enough that I can answer any questions. But I just made these just random widths, whatever I could get, and have enough length for the column. And I don't even have a leader ender on here. But I love to do pieced backs. And what I tend to do when I'm sewing just really random like this, they're almost improv backs because they're not exactly the same length right now, but I do match a point and then hold it so that the backing fabric is not being fed by the feed dogs faster than the top. So I kind of help it along so that it's feeding evenly. If you have a walking foot, you could do that. Some of your machines, I think the FOF machines are infamous for their built-in walking feet. And I have no idea how this new microphone is picking up the sound of the machine. So if it's loud, I apologize. We're doing the best that we can so that we can have Quilt-Cam back. I have hardwired my laptop to the modem instead of using Wi-Fi, so that should help. And we are just going to see these florals find a new home. Last week was we had Earth Day last week, and you're going to have to forgive me because I'm going to forget the name altogether, but there was something, I gotta pop that up here. I just got to. So hang on just a second. Let me see if I can find that. I just thought it was just the best idea. And there's a new group, and they're calling this Create and Sustain. So if you go to Instagram and put in the hashtag for Create and Sustain, it's all about the things that end up in the landfill too quickly, fabric being one of them, lesser loved fabrics that we can turn into other things. And my goal as a quilter is to stop my own waste and to use the things that I have purchased over the past 35 years of being a quilter and to turn them into beautiful things. Now, my fabric might not be the most latest, greatest, most current hot item on the quilt store shelves, but 50 years from now, I don't think people will care what I put in my quilts. I won't be around to know. And the challenge for me is in how to use the fabric to its best ability and make it work. Okay, so my quilt is about 74 by 91, I think is what my dimensions are. So when I piece a back like this, I plan on adding 10 inches in length and 10 inches in width, which gives me 5 inches all the way around the quilt top for mounting into the machine. It gives room for the side clamps to hold the margins, and quilt tops tend to stretch when you've got them in the machine, so it prevents my backings from falling too short. And we're just going here, just sewing a backing. Everything's got pink or purple in it, so it'll go with the quilt top. And watch me run out of bobbin here. When I get to the end, I'll flip up my phone or look at some comments and see what's going on. Let me know what you're working on today. I'd love to know. All right. This was really impromptu. I wasn't planning on it, but I had some time. And this is a monotonous job. So yes, I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance on these. And what I tend to do is have my longest seams in the quilt back go from top to bottom, down the quilt top to bottom. And these seams, if I can at all, I press them open to eliminate some bulk on the back of the quilt. You could press to one side, but that way when I mount the quilt in the quilting machine, the longest seams are going to go along the roller bar instead of wrapping around and around and around and creating a lumpy spot. So I like to quilt my quilts sideways. And we're almost the same length. One's 1/2 inch longer than the other. Okay, and that's that one. And no leaders and enders. This is going to drive me crazy. I have a little tiny scrap here, and I'm going to do the cheater thing. Okay. All right, so here's 2 pieces together. So it won't take me too long to build up the width that I need, but I am getting this stuff out of my stash. So I'm going to create and sustain and keep this stuff out of the landfill. It's on the back. People may wonder about the story, but that's what makes quilts extra fun. Okay, I'm going to come over here to my laptop and see what we've got going on. So we have Frances says, awesome to see Quilt-Cam back on. I'm making donation baby quilts. And she needed something. The feed flips too quickly. So it says, I'm packing for a 4-day retreat, says Vicky. That's wonderful. My first outing since COVID. So excited to be with friends. So glad I found you this morning. We're really excited to have retreats happening here at Quiltville Inn also. I feel like, though we're still cautious, we can kind of get our toes a little bit wet with getting back to normal. I would say about 75% of the folks that are staying at the inn have been vaccinated, and that number is increasing every day. I'm looking forward to the time when I can say, okay, who's in here is vaccinated, and everybody will raise their hands. We want to be safe. We want to do this safe. We still have precautions for sanitizing in effect. When we're outside, we don't have to wear masks when we're outside. So if you see pictures of us around the fire pit, we are safe and the chairs are spaced out. If we go to town for a restaurant or to go shopping, you can better bet that we are masked to the hilt and the hand sanitizer gets passed around frequently. So that's what's going on around here. Let's see what else is going on. We have doing fabric auditions for a paper piece project, says Elizabeth. And Carol says, yeah. It's good for Carol to say yeah. So I'm looking at this right now, and we've got 630 people watching, which is just really incredible. You might also notice this is a little bit different camera angle. Facebook changed their format since a year ago when I first did the last, catch your breath, Bonnie. When I did the last previous Facebook, I could get my head and the machine and the space where I was working all in the camera view. And now the only way I can do that is to push the camera back, move it up on a pole, and kind of shoot down. So when I'm talking to you, I have to remember to look at the pole and not the screen. So we've got these 2 done. I'm going to grab another pair of strips and we will sew those. So let me just set this one over here. I'll be right back. Oh, this is a skinny. So this skinny one, I think I'm going to add it onto this pair that I've already got. So this was leftovers from another backing, and there was just not a whole lot left. And so I made these columns by whatever width I could get out of them. I think this one ended up being 5 1/4 was the best use of the fabric. And I'm just going to sew it on. This is a skinny one, so I want to sew it on the top. And we're just going to add, just making these florals play with each other. Sometimes I'll look at my stash and find out what really needs to move, what has been staying there a long time. So one of the things that I broke out this weekend was some blocks in solids, and that's going to be a project I'll be working on over the next little while. And then once I started working with the solids, I thought about another quilt I'd like to do that uses solids in the colors, but with a whole random variety of neutrals as the background. So one thing jumps off to the other and we get to play. Okay. So I just hold these. I'm not pinning because it's a backing. I just want it to lay nice and flat. I'm waiting for my bobbin to run out because that's definitely a thing that will happen at some point. But these flowers are going to just play just really nice with each other. It'll add some interest to the backing. I feel like I'm being a good steward to the fabric. We're creating and we're sustaining at the same time. Okay. It always makes me feel like I'm accomplishing a lot when I can sew a long seam. Can get this piece today. Maybe I can get it quilting tomorrow. We'll see. Okay. And again, I'm sorry if the microphone is really picking up the sound of the machine. And there goes the bobbin. What did I tell you? I knew it. I knew it. It's all fun and games till the bobbin runs out. Okay, I'm going to flip back over here and see what other folks are saying. Donna says she loves the sound of the machine. Is it really too loud? Is my voice too loud? I don't know because the microphone is now here over the machine. So if I turn away from it, maybe it won't pick me up so badly. It's just tough. I need a producer. Okay, Christy says hello from Fruitland, Idaho. Hi, Fruitland, Idaho. Fruitland is special to me. My eldest son was born when we lived in Fruitland, Idaho, so that's really, really exciting. I love it there this time of the year. Spring is arriving. It's just a beautiful place. And Lori, let's see, Lori, you says the sound of the machine is not too loud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sound is perfect. Okay, so the speaking sound is okay. Is the picture clear? With it being hardwired, I'd love to know if the picture is clear. I tried to turn the camera so that you weren't looking at the windows that are over my shoulder, which there's just too much sunlight, even through the blinds, made things kind of fuzzy last time. She says, it's good, doing great, sound is perfect, doing great. Wonderful, wonderful. So exciting things that will be happening in Quiltville over the next couple of months now that we are almost turning to May. In July, you guys are aware of our Leader Ender Challenge that happens every July. It lasts a year, and the whole premise is to cut out the pieces for whatever block I determine what we're making that year, and to just cut some and put them by your machine so that you can use those to feed in between the piecing you're already doing instead of using the little folded over piece of garbage that I have up here. These Klingons can actually become quilt blocks. So I try not to do this, but I don't have a Leader Ender project here. I left it back home. Big mistake, didn't know I was doing Quilt-Cam. So that'll happen in July. And then by Halloween, we will have all of the fabric colors, the yardage requirements,